Good morning. Very nice to be with you. I'm Rochelle Branch, the city's Cultural Affairs Manager, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's rotating public art program dedication. This is the fourth dedication for the fourth series of this program, which delivers artworks to every city council district and lots of neighborhoods. And we have lots of the people who are here responsible for selecting those artworks here today, and we'd like to acknowledge you. The rotating public art program was approved by council in 2011 and has since seen over 25 public artworks installed on a temporary basis throughout the city. Because today is the fourth dedication of the series, although we try to hold each dedication in a different council district, and although Councilmember Madison could not join us today, we are honored by several speakers, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the first one. Support for the arts has been a major theme of our first guest today. Mayor Victor Gordo has been a part of this city for over 25, I think it's actually over 30 years, but because he's so young, we'll say 25. From field representative to council member and now as our sitting mayor, Mayor Victor Gordo has been a staunch supporter of the arts at every level. So it is my honor and my pleasure to introduce to you Mayor Victor M. Gordo.
Let me first begin by thanking all of you for taking the time to be here, and let me welcome some of my colleagues' field representative, beginning with Margot Morales with Councilmember Rivas' office, Noreen Sullivan with Councilmember Masuda's office, Lisa Barrios with Councilmember Justin Chapman's office. I'm sorry, Councilmember Justin Jones. Justin Chapman with Councilmember Steve Madison's office, and of course Taka, who has long served in the city. Did I mention Margot? Yes. And Darla Dyson, now with Councilmember Rivas' office. So, I'm sorry, Councilmember Williams' office. Too many changes. So I'd like to first off say that it's an honor and a privilege to be here. I want to congratulate our Arts and Culture Commission Chair, Blair Hansen. Please be recognized. And the team from Cultural Affairs, of course, our very talented Rochelle Branch, whom I've had the pleasure of working with for 27 or so years at least. And our arts community as a whole. Our Arts Commission, please stand up and read. Commissioners, please stand up and be recognized. They've done a tremendous job of shepherding the arts throughout the city of Pasadena. And on this fourth iteration, I remember the first time we approved the program, and it just seemed like such a fun, spontaneous way to enjoy the arts. You know, we talk about some of the fixed art that we have here in Pasadena, but when we see art rotating, it really does bring to the attention of people and a reminder that arts are an important part of Pasadena. And really, I would say to you, if not the most important, certainly in the top most important aspects of what makes our city great. We've been a proud supporter and funding I think over 50 pieces now. Did you say over 50 pieces and cultural organizations here in Pasadena? And today's just another example of our long-standing commitment to the arts. Let me ask all of the people who are artists here to please stand and be recognized, because they are the ones who do the work, the creative work. They're the ones who do the creative work that brings such richness to our city. You know, we often think about architects. We think in Pasadena, you know, the Green and Greens and others, and deservedly so. But think of the artists who provide so much beauty to our city, who enhance our experience here in Pasadena, personally, and then certainly as a regional draw. So this is an opportunity for and for us to remind ourselves that the pieces like the Robinson Memorial, the Jackie Robinson statue, those are so important. But so are programs like this, programs that bring diversity of artists, programs that bring diversity of art, and allow us to see just different perspectives of the different talented artists that we have in the city of Pasadena. So I would really like to thank all of you who are involved in the rotating and support the rotating art program, including the people, by the way, who participated on the committee. Raise your hand if you participated on the committee of selecting. You can see the effort that it takes. It takes, yes, a community that supports the arts. Yes, it takes the political will of a city council represented here by my colleagues. Yes, it takes talented people and artists, but it also takes people who are willing to step up and say, I'm going to participate by helping select some of the art. And so it's really a team effort. I congratulate and I thank every one of you on behalf of not just the City Council, but on behalf of all residents of Pasadena for having a hand as an artist, as part of the selection committee, as a commissioner, whatever your role was for enriching our city and making it all the more beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. And I will ask all of the neighborhood arts associates to actually stand to be recognized. And after this program, we would like for you and the artists who are here today to take a photo. So could you please stand, neighborhood arts associates, all the selection panelists, please stand. And now we will turn to David Reyes, who is currently one of the city's assistant city manager. He holds that position now, having been the director of the Department of Planning and Community Development. And the reason that that's important to mention today is that that is where the Cultural Affairs Division resides. And so David has been a supporter of the arts and I would venture to say a collaborator as the former director of our department. And I do appreciate him being here today to represent the city manager who was not able to join us today. So without further ado, David Reyes.
So just very quickly, good morning, and I wanted to acknowledge the current director of the Planning and Community Development Department, Jennifer Page, who's in the back. So I was going to say that I'm going to read a few prepared words that I worked on, but that would be a lie because Rochelle wrote them for me. One of the things that I really enjoyed about working in the department was working with Rochelle. She has a passion for the arts, and whenever we would butt heads on issues, it was because she wanted more. She wanted better. She wanted to make sure that the arts and cultural programs were supported financially. And so as assistant city manager now and working on the city's budget, we do get to have those conversations in a more meaningful way. And so just a few words about the rotating public art program that wouldn't be here without Rochelle. It is an important part of the city's support for both individual artists as well as the impact that public art has on the community as a whole. The city's commitment to the creative economy includes not only the grants to the local arts and cultural organizations that provide programming such as dance, theater, concerts, and visual art exhibitions, but also another component of the annual grants program is the funding for in-school learning that inspires lifelong education, lifelong learning in the arts, in the schools themselves. So, but public art is an extension of the built environment. And because of that, the city, over 30 years ago, established by ordinance a requirement for public arts. So any new development that we see in the city is required to pay into the public arts program. And that was the city's commitment and signal that we would recognize public art as an important part of the city's growth and development as we continue into perpetuity. because the city is ever changing, ever growing. Both private development and city construction projects contribute to the city's public art collection with artworks that are located in prominent locations, and it serves both public and private spaces. We have over 100 artworks that have been generated by these mandates with the city's ordinance, and others have been inspired to include art on their campuses, including Art Center College of Design, Caltech, Fuller Seminary, and Pasadena City College. The rotating program offers opportunities for artists to show their works in residential and commercial areas, as well as our commercial corridors, without a building or structure. These sites use small, more intimate spaces that allow the artworks to be exhibited for all to see. The program not only includes artworks on loan, but offers two sites for the creation of new site-responsive pieces. The temporary program augments those that are established by ordinance and also provide new ways for individual artists to enliven our vibrant city. By supporting programming that reaches multiple creative disciplines, the city is proud to consider arts and culture integral to local government. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I do apologize. I do need to recognize Jennifer Page, who is the current director of our department and is also a very strong supporter of the arts. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mayor. We do need to recognize the CEO of the Pasadena Center Operating Company, Michael Ross, and we thank him and his staff, Naz, and all the staff who created this opportunity and did all the setup today. We want to thank him and his staff for all the strong support they have provided to the program by including a site for one of the rotating public artworks. Mike, thank you. And so now I will turn to Naz, and I don't want to ruin the pronunciation of your name. Could you please stand up? Please come over to the podium. Naz and I get to work together in a couple of capacities. One is that she has been the point person for what you see happening around us today, which is filming. And we appreciate all of the help that she has provided the city in terms of our film staff, who is here today, and I'd like to recognize them. Please stand. I'd also like to recognize Corey Dunlap, who is the city's public art coordinator, and Patricia Valencia back there, who is our very important senior staff assistant for the division. Naz, please join us and tell us a few things that you would like to mention about hosting our dedication today and also the site here. And we very much appreciate you being here. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. The Convention Center is grateful and delighted that we've had the honor and pleasure to participate in the city's rotating public art program. We have exhibited and showcased creative and inspiring artwork at our venue over the last several years. We host an average of 300 events annually, such as America's Got Talent, the NAACP Image Awards, and national and international conventions, attracting 350,000 attendees to our venue and to the city. While we create memorable guest experiences at the Convention Center, the city's arts and culture add to their memorable experiences. Art has the unique ability to transcend boundaries, build connections, ignite passion and creativity, and remind us of the beauty that exists within our rich and diverse community. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the talented artists, to the City of Pasadena, the Cultural Affairs Division, and to all of you who have joined us today. May Cynthia Minet's sculpture and the other artworks continue to captivate, inspire, and spark meaningful conversations amongst our visitors, tourists, and community.
First, I'm introducing the chair of the Arts and Culture Commission, Blair Hansen.
Thank you all for being here today. On behalf of the Arts and Culture Commission, we truly want to thank the participating Series 4 artists for contributing their work to the city of Pasadena. The Series 4 opportunity garnered a record number of submissions, and we're excited to be able to exhibit such high caliber artworks in a wide range of materials, artistic styles throughout the city. By placing artworks in small, often overlooked corners of the city, our neighborhoods are transformed and activated in surprising and unique ways. This reminds us how the work of creative professionals can impact our everyday lives and strengthen the cultural vitality of the urban landscape. So on behalf of my fellow art commissioners, several who are here today, and I'm so grateful to see you, I want to commend Rochelle Branch, Corey Dunlap, and all of the participating artists and those involved in the art selection process for a job very well done. We will enjoy these works throughout the city for the next 3 years. Thank you.
Now I'm going to introduce the city's public art coordinator, Corey Dunlap, to take us through the rest of the program.
Well, thank you all again for attending today. The work included in the Series 4 exhibition, as mentioned, represents a broad range of artistic styles and approaches, again, from skilled artists from across California. We hope you will take the time to look at the rotating brochure that we have. If you haven't already grabbed a copy, please plan to visit each of the artwork sites throughout the exhibition to really appreciate the diverse voices of these artists and their interventions throughout the city. On behalf of the Cultural Affairs Division, we again want to thank the artists and the Neighborhood Art Associates for being involved in this selection process. So thank you again for that, and we're excited to be exhibiting works for a temporary period. Part of what makes public art really exciting is the inherent moment of discovery that comes when you happen upon an artwork in public space outside of the context of a museum or gallery space. That is what really intrigues people and transforms the built environment. And we hope that these artworks, as they are ever changing at the sites every 3 years, will also intrigue the community. I'll run through a few of the artworks. As mentioned, 2 of the 8 artworks are site-specific commissioned artworks that are being finalized and will be installed later this year. The 6 extant artworks that have already been installed include, up on Lake Avenue, we have the monumental mixed media sculpture of Dominique Panziera and Daniela Garofalo. They are a very charming married couple who make work collaboratively under the moniker Art Eclectica. On the corner of Mountain and Sunset is the architectural work of Hugo Heredia Barrera, featuring fused glass and metal. On Washington and Glen Avenue, we have the figurative work of Damian Jones in glazed ceramic, which also includes the head of the figure, which is a large spherical piece of Labradorite stone, very exciting. On Sierra Madre Boulevard and Sierra Madre Villa Avenue, we have the dynamic geometry of Charles Sherman's Corten steel pyramid sculpture. Over on Sidney F. Tyler Park is the topographical steel sculpture by Lisa Mann, which includes a large-scale map of the city of Pasadena embedded with different icons and stories for visitors to explore and learn more about. And lastly, of course, we have the evocative work of Cynthia Minet, installed here in the Convention Center lobby, constructed of recycled and repurposed plastic materials. And again, most of her work that she'll speak about in just a moment really serves to superbly articulate visual forms, biological forms, and animals in really surprising and amazing ways, kind of producing a uncanny, seductive quality. So without further ado, we hope you will go inside and take a closer look at Cynthia's work, and we'd like to invite her up to say a few words.
I want to also thank the Department of, or the Arts and Culture Commission for this opportunity. I want to acknowledge, as you've already heard, Corey and Blair and Rochelle, also to support from the city of Pasadena. I am really honored to be here to have an opportunity to speak to all of you about my work and to acknowledge the work of the other artists who were selected in this process. a little bit about the beauty of public artwork, as you've already heard, but just from my perspective as an artist, is to have work which is accessible to the public for free, that they do not have to go into an art museum and pay an exorbitant price now to be able to see the work. They can just walk in or come upon it and really engage with it, and that is a lot of the one of the goals for my artworks. Also, I think really great for me in this project was that the call was not just for new artworks, but for existing artworks, because my sculpture has been gracing my living room for quite a while, taking up a lot of space. So before I talk about that further, I do want to acknowledge my former dean here, Monica Garcia from Moore Park College. I teach at Moore Park College. Okay, I wanted to say just a little anecdote about Pasadena, the city of Pasadena. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 13. I lived in Rome and London as a kid, and I remember when my father brought us here, my sister and I were quite dismayed that it didn't look like Rome or London. And he said, "This is sunny Pasadena. You have everything you could possibly want here in sunny Pasadena." And I am so amazed that now I have a sculpture here in the convention center, and I would never have imagined that at the age of 13. So that has been a real honor. I first started showing these unsustainable creatures sculptures with the Lightbringer project from the city of Pasadena. It's a very nice program. And they had a series of windows in front of the Armory Center. And so I had my first real iteration of the unsustainable creatures. So the whole series of the unsustainable creatures really addresses the problem of plastic pollution. I'm very interested in the environmental messages of my work, and so I use found plastics to actually be working with the material that is causing the problem. So it's sort of a love-hate relationship with this material. And I really enjoy engaging with the public of all ages to help people, really have a conversation about what we could do to stop plastic pollution and what we could do to address endangered animals around the world. So further about this project is it was originally commissioned by the Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs for the international airport. And so I decided to look at what are the domesticated animals around the world. So elephants and oxen and camels are, used to work just like our working animals are here in the United States. And so this is an adolescent female Asian elephant. I was quite specific about the form. A lot of my work really looks at the anatomy of the animal and then builds on the gesture and the behavior. And so Gladys has been exhibited many different places, and so I'm really glad that she has an opportunity to be here with us for the 3 years. There was one other thing that I wanted to say, and that was it. This is just such a great honor. And so if you want to hear anything more about my sculpture, please come and talk to me about it afterwards. And I want to thank everyone very much.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for coming. Please feel free to grab materials. We have promotional materials related to the program, but also be on the lookout for Art Night event happening next month on October 13th, Friday the 13th. Ooh, spooky. So feel free to grab those materials and meet some of the artists that are here today. And thank you again for coming, and hopefully we'll have more to come. And just a little bit more. One more item.
Thank you. We'd like to acknowledge Field Rep Kashawn Bell, who has joined us as well. And thanks to all of you for taking the time today. We have city staff here as well, and it's just a nice feeling to see all of you. So we want to make sure that the artists can come up and have a photo, the neighborhood arts associates come up and have a photo, and we want to make sure that our speakers can have a photo. And please make sure you have those delicious cookies and some lemonade. Thank you again.